What's going on, Assassins? So, UbiSoft announced via Twitter that they are starting an Assassin's Creed Stories line of media. Basically, a bunch of books which some people are going to care about, other people are going to be ecstatic about because it'll expand on the Assassin's Creed universe, and still others are going to be kind of worried about that. Why would they be worried? What does this mean? What is Ubisoft doing? I have all these answers and more. I'm Darkshot of the YouTube Assassin. Let's get into this. And before we start, make sure that you're subscribed, hit like if you like the video, and make sure you ring that bell so that way you never miss content when it comes out. So what's going on with Ubisoft is that they are creating an Assassin's Creed line of media that's basically literature. Now, it's going to be three different kinds. They're going to have the Classics label, which is what they've been doing. They have a bunch of books out based on the video games themselves. I actually own a bunch of the books. I love reading, number one. And number two, it's just pretty cool that I'm reading a subject that I like. So they do have Assassin's Creed books that are based on the video games themselves. It doesn't really deviate. It actually follows what's going on. And, I mean, it's pretty cool. There may be differences in what they did in the book versus what you did in your gameplay, such as, maybe they hit East Anglia first and you hit something else first. So that would have been the only difference. Other than that, they really keep to the dialogue, they keep to the script, and everything is cool. They also have a Chronicles label that's going to be coming out, which is going to be complete new stories, allowing readers to discover new protagonists and time periods. Now that's kind of cool. I don't have any issues with that either. That'll be a lot of fun to see what's going on there. As long as they don't make a problem like they did before, I'll explain that problem. The last thing is going to be an Originals label where it's going to bring new layers and depth and richness to the franchise's lore for fans and newcomers to enjoy. So those are the three different type of labels. Now, they already show off 4 different novels that they've got going on. One is a chronicle, which is, it's called Geirmund's Saga. And apparently this is taking place in the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It deals with another Viking, this guy Geirmund, who rises in the ranks of another king's army. So, that's pretty cool that they would do something like that. Then they also have another 3 that they are coming out with. The second one is Assassin's Creed Fragments. This one is an original. Basically, it's dealing with 19th century Japan, the second in 13th century Scotland, and the third in 17th century France. Basically 3, I guess it would be short stories that are come together or that are separate. The next item that they have up is another original. It's going to be called the Imperial Jade Seal. Now, again, it looks like they're getting into territory that we haven't been around. This one takes place across multiple Chinese dynasties, 3rd century BC to 17th century AD. So that actually may be kind of interesting. And then the very 4th thing that they put out that they were showing was Assassin's Creed, the Ming Storm. And it's basically a Chronicles book, which is a sequel to Xiao Jun's adventures. Basically the assassin that we got in the very first Chronicles China game. So that being said, I'm all for this. I'm all for this reading. I'm all for the interesting time periods and the things that they're going to do. The thing is, I really don't want them to mess with certain narratives that we missed out on in our playthrough of Assassin's Creed through this series. For instance, in Assassin's Creed Origins, We were supposed to have a showdown with Juno, and then they altered that, and that fight actually became the god fights that we have in Origins. Those errors in the machine were supposed to be Juno affecting our animus, and now it's not. They actually address that in another media, in a comic book, which we ended up not even knowing anything about that unless you were savvy to the comic books. Now, I don't know about you, it's kind of hard for me to get comic books in this area. There are not a lot of comic shops here. I would have to get it online. But why would I even have to do that? You know, just to know what's going on in my main Assassin's Creed universe. I'm all for all these other media. I'm all for all these other things going on, but they should not have direct tie-ins or correlations with what's going on in our universe, with what's going on in the main game series. So a lot of people were really upset that they didn't get to fight Juno, and they were more upset that they found out this whole other crazy storyline dealing with Desmond's child. Desmond had a child out of wedlock with some woman while he was a bartender in New York, and this kid becomes a sage and everything. It was really weird. It was just very strange that they chose to do it there and not in one of the main games, any game in the series at all. To me, that's kind of goofy. Don't do stuff like that. Make sure that you're doing things that, you know, maybe they come across like that one that's kind of like a Valhalla story. Let that person meet Ivor, that's fine. If they meet Eivor and they have an interaction, that's fine. Don't go and marry Eivor or, you know, do something behind the scenes that we haven't even seen or heard about yet, because that would just kind of mess up the main ideas, the main focus that we have here. I really don't want to have to, like, report that something happened in a book and that's why we're not seeing it in the game, or that's why characters are all of a sudden appearing in the game, disappearing from the game, you know, in present day or even the past. Like, I want to know all about that stuff in my game, not have to go and research and hunt down a book. But let me know what you think. Are you even interested in this kind of media? Do you read Assassin's Creed novels? Do you read anything outside of articles on the Assassin's Creed series? Would you be interested in reading a book? Do you collect any other collectibles for Assassin's Creed? Let me know what your thoughts are. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Please, by all means, like, subscribe. Make sure that you ring that bell so you never miss any details, any stories, anything in the Assassin's Creed universe. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other. I'll see you all in the next one.